on this floor and the second floor. And there used to be a spiral staircase.
Oh, through here?
Through here to the second floor, where our dining rooms now used to be basically his bedroom and his salon, where people would gather and talk, and he would have, the kitchen. He taught all his courses here, and he wrote probably at least probably a dozen of his 24 cookbooks in this home here.
Wow.
But we're trying to have a lot of memorabilia of Beard as much as possible, and there's not a lot of him, as you may know. And so when you see old tapes of the Today Show with Brian Gumpel and a young Tom Brokaw, they're filmed here in this kitchen.
Oh, really?
And you see these photographs are there, and the map of the world was here. So, wow. But most of the things in the house were sold off upon his death, and so we're not. It was auctioned off, and we don't have very much of his memorabilia here. But there is a chef's jacket up on the second floor, and then they were ready to sell the house. And Julian Child and Peter Cup said, we can't let the house be sold, and that's where they started this idea of what you're doing tonight, doing fundraising dinners to save Beard's house. And Wolfgang Puck was the
very first chef
to do a dinner here to raise money to buy the house and start the foundation.
Oh, that's so neat.
This is one thing. This is a chef's jacket that James Beard wore. So at least it gives people an idea of the size of this great chef, great man. And we have a photo here of him in the chef's jacket, just so you can see that he did wear this. He created the first menu for the Four Seasons in New York City.
Oh, wow.
He was the consultant on the menu. And this, you have to remember, this is back like in the early 1960s, when the only great restaurants in New York were French restaurants.
Yeah.
And he came up with the idea of in season, but he was prescient. He was talking about regional flavors and cooking in season long before anybody else was.
Wow.
And this is a sample menu from that first year. He had a kimono up on that mirror. But,
oh, wow.
People in the village would say they knew James was sitting in his bed reading a cookbook or working on his cookbook when they could see his big feet in the window.
Wow.
So, but I just wanted to have a feeling of, he lived on these two floors.
Well, I mean, this is just walking into the, standing at that stove, not just because it was James Beard, but because of all the great chefs that have come through and cooking on the same stove. Everyone kept asking me on the lead up to this, are you excited about possible nomination?
Right.
I get to cook on the same stove the greatest chefs in the country have worked on. I'm just humbled to be in the presence of this place. I mean, we're just a small little restaurant outside of Chicago, and to be considered for something like this was huge. It's absolutely huge for us.
And so many chefs feel the same way you do. For musicians will say it's like cooking in his kitchen is like being able to, if you're a piano player, pianist, playing on Mozart's piano.